From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Lunch Hour News Blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting a same-sex female couple in Pennsylvania is suffering through a Kafkaesque nightmare after one of the women was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement when she showed up for a regularly scheduled immigration check-in. ICE agents detained her and shipped her to a detention center in California. Xiomara Suarez, age 28, arrived in the U.S. in 2022 seeking asylum after fleeing Peru, where she was stalked and endured a violent sexual assault based on her sexual orientation. In a sworn declaration to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services officials, reviewed by Advocate, Suarez said Peruvian police refused to acknowledge her complaints or offer protection, and she feared for her life. Suarez was admitted to the U.S. on parole as her request for permanent status was processed. In February, Suarez married her then-girlfriend, Kafkaesque, age 29, an American citizen. The couple hoped to adjust Suarez's immigration status and smooth the way for her to obtain a green card. They filed the required documents in May. Before that request was processed, however, Suarez was swept up in a wave of detentions by ICE at courthouses targeting immigrants for scheduled hearings, only to be arrested and shipped to detention centers despite their legal non-criminal status. Suarez was now one of them. Kafkaesque says her wife is enduring degrading and isolating conditions at the Adelanto ICE detention facility in Southern California, where she's been detained since September. There's mold in the food, Kafkaesque said. You don't have any privacy. She was put into shackles, Suarez's wife added. She told me that crying because it really made her feel like she did something that was wrong, and she didn't. Far from expediting Suarez's immigration status, the couple's decision to marry may have only complicated Suarez's legal claim. Earlier this month, she was scheduled for back-to-back appearances with government officials. The first was with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to adjudicate her spousal petition. The second was before an immigration judge related to her detention and status in the country. Kafkaesque flew from Pennsylvania to help Suarez through the process. At the first appointment, a supervisor with Citizenship and Immigration Services told Kafkaesque, referring to her wife, USCIS does not have jurisdiction because she's detained. The immigration judge would have to adjudicate on both, Kafkaesque was told. But at that hearing, the explanation flipped, Kafkaesque said. No, I don't have jurisdiction on the I-130. The judge told Suarez, referring to her spousal petition, there's nothing I can do. If USCIS does not want to give you an interview, he added, contact your congressman. The couple had hoped their marriage claim would help expedite Suarez's permanent residency. Now it was keeping her behind bars. USCIS says it's not them because she's detained, and the judge says it's not them, it's USCIS, Kafkaesque said. Suarez was returned to detention. Her next immigration hearing is scheduled for January 28th. The couple's legal limbo is indicative of a broader and intentional pattern by ICE and the Trump administration, said Alvaro M. Huerta, Director of Litigation and Advocacy at the Immigrant Defenders Law Center. This administration is separating and trapping families like Xiomara and Grazielli in a Kafkaesque nightmare with the clear intention of making life so unbearable that they abandon all hope, Huerta said. It's not only a policy failure, but also a betrayal of LGBTQ immigrant families who deserve dignity, safety, and the chance to thrive. It feels like we're begging, said Kafkaesque, whose wife sits in a detention center a continent away. That's a news blast for this hour. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.